influence on my life, and I'm very grateful for that. Some of my older brothers were very positive also. But I knew that if I were going to change my life, I had, Zig Ziglar used to have a saying that if you're looking for a helping hand, look down at the end of your sleeve. And so, we really have to have that attitude. And so I said to myself, if I'm going to change my attitude from this negative little kid that I am today, I've got to have some different kind of self-talk that is good, positive, healthy self-talk. And so I put up a one of those whiteboards that you write on. I put up a whiteboard at the end of my shower, and I wrote out a saying that I started saying to myself every day in the shower. I like myself. I love my life. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm healthy. And I add brightness to the life of everyone I meet. And I say to people, if you say those kinds of things to yourself, you can create your own good, positive self-talk. But if you start telling yourself, I like myself, I'm excited, I add brightness to the life of everyone I meet, how can you not change your life if you start saying that with enthusiasm every day?
And believe it yourself. And part of it is by repeating it. Eventually you do believe it.
The more enthusiasm you have as you repeat that, the more you will drive it into your subconscious, and you will start to believe it.
Sure. No, that definitely makes sense. So let's see. One other thing, too, that you've developed has been was it called the Grateful Coin?
I actually call it the Gratitude Coin.
Gratitude. Okay. Thank you for correcting me.
Not a problem. Because I have had the opportunity to change my outlook on life, and I have had the opportunity to create a lot of real success in my life, I started thinking a number of years ago, about 7 years ago, I was thinking, at this stage of my life, I've already generated about $2 billion of revenue for my companies. Mm-hmm. And I said, you have a magical life. You've been able to transform yourself from a negative little kid to a positive, happy, healthy, really successful person. So, but yet, even at that, I still kept thinking, I can't wait till I get to this next level of life. And when I get to that level, it's how can I get to this next level of life? And I said, you've got to have an anchor. You've got to have something that you touch every day that brings you back to remembering, I've got an awesome life today. And I'm building whatever life I want to build. So I made up this gratitude coin that one side of it says gratitude coin and the other side I am grateful for. And I tell people, if you touch that coin every day and you say to yourself, what is it that I'm grateful for today? It will start teaching you to be more grateful every day. The more grateful you are every day because you touch that coin, the happier you will become as a person. And literally, the happier you are, it will change your life.
Okay. Well, I think it's probably a good time for us to take another quick break. Give us a call at 790-2040, or if you're out of the area, 520-790-2040. Our guest is Darrell Knoch, and we'll be back after these messages. We're back live with Special Needs Lifestyles. I'm Larry Finman. Our guest today is Darrell Knoch, who is... we've been having a great conversation here. We actually had one person call in and just give us a question, which was...
Well, what she asked was, how do I get myself started? I'm wanting a change. I have read some things about changing my mindset, but how do I really take that first step to change? And so the answer to that question is to ask yourself a question. And that question is, what would I do if I knew I absolutely could not fail? What would I dream? What would I dream that I could absolutely do anything in life if I knew with certainty that I could not fail. And you start asking yourself that question. Start visualizing, what would I do? What are my interests? What really excites me every day in my hobbies, in my marriage, in my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my whatever it is? What are the things that really excite me? And so what would I do if I knew that I could not fail? And so you start to daydream, and you start writing those daydreams down, and those daydreams start to become visualizations that you start taking steps towards those daydreams.
Goals towards it. Well, it establishes the goals and the pathway on getting there.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have another caller, Roberta. Hello, Roberta.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, and thank you for holding. You said in here that you've got a chronic disease, and your question is how to deal with that?
I'd like to ask your guest what he would say to someone with a seriously ill with a chronic disease who will never be successful in anything except getting through life with a disease, that will never be able to do a whole lot with their life.
Well,
there's lots of people like that.
You're right, and for me to say that change your mindset and it'll change your life is easier said than done, as they say. And let me be sure to point out that I would never say that anything in life is easy, and especially if you have a chronic disease, then you have an added disability that most of us don't have.
Well, it takes a lot of energy to live day to day with whatever it might be, whether it's a disease system, whether it's pain, whatever it might be. Is that what you're describing, Roberta?
Yes. There's lots of us that live with chronic pain and chronic disease and disability, and I've always tried to keep a positive attitude. Is what's kept me alive 30 years longer than what the doctors gave me, but there's so many out there that just can't keep that positive attitude, and I have to be reminded. This program is just great. I just love everything you have to say. Even those of us with a positive attitude have to be reminded from time to time to keep that positive attitude, because we can slip away from it real fast.
Oh, it's very easy to forget it, sure.
Yeah.
Roberta, I have had, as I mentioned earlier, I believe that I've turned my life around and built what I consider to be a magical life. I've had so much opportunity in life. So many things have come to me that have been absolutely breathtaking, if I could say it that way, in the opportunities that it has given me in life. But even I have to remind myself every day, and that's why I put this coin together. And I give this coin out to everybody that I meet if they'll take it. In fact, if you go to truewealthuniversity.com, there's a little button that you just click and you send me a little email, and I'll send you a gratitude coin for free in the mail.
What can someone do who doesn't have access to the internet?
Call somebody that does have access.
Uh-huh.
Let me give you my toll-free number.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Are you ready?
Yes.
It's 800
Okay.
319 4080, and if you'll call us, we will send you a gratitude coin. And just like I mentioned earlier, the reason I put that gratitude coin together is because we all, no matter how much we have or don't have, we have to remind ourselves every day that we have to be grateful. That does not mean that we don't want to strive for more, and we don't want to strive to have a pain-free life or to have whatever that might be. We always want to strive for more, but gratitude is the foundation stone of happiness. And if you learn that gratitude, it reminds you every day that there is other things in life. Now, one of the things I would suggest, and I don't know what your chronic disease is, and I certainly would be happy to hear about that, but you have to take control of your life, and it sounds like you have already.
Yeah, I have a disease where I've had to be responsible for my health care and everything.
I mean, you know, nothing that I should ever want to say about a doctor be that it would be disparaging, but doctors are busy.
Yeah.
They don't always diagnose correctly. They don't, you know, they're just human beings just like all the rest of us. So you have to be responsible to read, you know, go to the local libraries, get the local libraries to get every book you can get on your disease and learn everything you can learn. As an example, one of the things I talk about in my book, years ago there was a gentleman by the name of Norman Cousins. Norman Cousins had a disabling disease that they said was fatal. He was going to die, and so he decided that he was not going to accept that. And he literally read, studied everything he could do. He literally got a doctor that really was willing to pay attention to him. And between the two of them, they learned and studied so much about that disease. And he found that in his case, that if he would watch Marx Brothers movies and he would do all kinds of things that would make him laugh every day. He said that he found that if he would have hard belly laughed for 10 minutes a day, that would give him 2 hours of sleep that he wouldn't get otherwise.
When I was told years ago that I couldn't live in this world anymore and I'd be lucky to make it through 1 year, I was blessed to read his book, and that was the best encouragement I could ever have had.
Well, that's awesome that you and my personal belief is that's one of the reasons you've had the success you've had, and you've lived the length of time that you have when they told you that you wouldn't, is because you didn't believe that. You didn't take that and just say, okay, I guess I'm going to. You said, no way, I'm not going to accept that.
Well, in my mind, I would say, each time I was told that, I would just say, well, you're not God. When God wants me, I'm ready, but you're not going to tell God when He's ready. You know, I never said it out loud, but that was my mindset.
Well, you know, talking to yourself is part of it. That is part of the cure.
Oh, yeah.
The more you have good, positive self-talk, you know, if you say to yourself, you know, man, I just don't feel good today. You know, if you say to yourself, I feel awesome today, that will change the physiology that you have. You'll literally, the more emotion you tell yourself, I feel awesome today, the more endorphins your body will release and the more chemicals that your body will help you relieve the pain.
Yeah, every time I catch myself thinking, oh, I just don't feel good today, I turn it around and I say out loud, I feel wonderful. I feel good. It's going to be a real good day.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Roberta, for your call. We've got to wrap things up here. I want to thank you, Darrell, for joining us today. And people can get your book at Amazon.com, and the name of it is Mastering a Healthy Self-Image, the Guidebook to Real Happiness and Enormous Success.
If they would like to get a copy of that gratitude coin so that they can hold that and change their life, TrueWealthUniversity.com.
Thank you, Tucson and Southern Arizona, and have a good Super Bowl weekend.
Shining bright to see what you can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you.